Good evening, good day, I guess it is for most of us, and a little warmer here in the Northeast today. Looks like Old Man Winter might be slowly bowing his head to spring. Um, so thanks for joining. This afternoon, the meditation, the theme for this week is choice. And so before I begin to guide the meditation, I just want to tell you a little bit about the theme and how you might be able to use the theme in your practice today. So every moment of our lives, believe it or not, we have choice. Even though we may not be conscious of it, and even though we may not be aware, we are making choices. And we make choices from different parts of our being. Some of it's like on autopilot, just habit. Some of it comes from our conscious mind, and some of it comes from our unconscious awareness. But we are making choices. And now there's a saying that I particularly kind of like, is that there's no right choices or wrong choices or good choices or bad choices. There's simply choices and consequences. And so in the tradition of yoga and Buddhism, from which my meditation practice comes, there's a concept known as conditionality, and that is basically that whatever choices we make in any given moment sets up or creates the field that we then live into. So we're living into the consequences of our choices all the time. So it sounds like it's a pretty good idea to make better ones, or at least make ones that we would call wise. And a wise choice is one that basically creates more happiness and less suffering. So why not? And of course, the traditional practices are designed to help us do that. So the other thing that I just want to mention quickly is the whole idea of the distinction between doing and being. A lot of the times when we think about choice, we think about what we're going to do. Oh, I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to make different choices means I'm going to do things differently. Well, there's more to choice than doing. The big choice, and a very important one, and probably just as important, if not more important than choosing what you do, is choosing how to be. In other words, when something comes into my field of beingness, how do I choose to be with that? Um, and of course, the state of equanimity is often held as a great way to be, where we're not kind of rocked by the winds of whatever's going on. And so meditation practice is great for that. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to guide you in some breath and body meditation, and I will be directing your awareness to your choices from time to time, particularly around your choices of being. And if my words land for you and it works out okay, then follow along. If, of course, the words don't land for you and you're having some other different experience that you need to engage, then that's fine too. So take what you can, leave what you don't, and so we'll see how we go with that. So come to a comfortable seated position, and if it's seated, and you can do this either seated, lying, or standing, but seated is probably the preferred. Find a comfortable seat. Allow your back to be lengthened but not strained, shoulders lightly relaxed. Find a place for your hands in your lap, either palms up or palms down. And then if you can lightly close your eyes, or if you prefer, gaze downwards in front of you, just a soft gaze. And we'll begin with just noticing your body, noticing the seat of your body, noticing how you're sitting and drawing support from underneath you, your body sitting whatever it's sitting on. And noticing the connection downwards through your body, through whatever object it is you're seated on, all the way down, in fact, perhaps all the way down to the earth below. And this sense of the earth supporting you in this seated position. And right there's a choice in how to be with that, to allow gravity to hold you, to be supported by what is below you, and to allow yourself into that support. That's a way of being, a choice of being, allowing allowing the support that's there to be there, to receive it. No doing needed, just a way of being, a way of allowing. At the same time, allowing the energy from that seat to rise up through your body, gently lengthening and lifting the spine, softening the support below, allowing the softening above, and just making the choice, if it's there for you, to be with that, to be with the movement, the flow of support upwards from your seat. And then attuning to the breath coming in, the breath going out. And you may notice the quality of the breath, the feel of the breath, the experience of the breath, the body sensations of breath and body connecting. And whatever you're noticing, notice if there's any tendency to be with that in a particular way. Maybe a judgment, or maybe I'm not meditating right, or oh, I'm not breathing very deeply, or any of those little things that just pop into conscious awareness. And if you notice those, just make the choice around how to be with that. Maybe there's another choice. Rather than engage the critical mind, perhaps there's another choice of being, a choice of allowing, a choice of accepting all as it is, without the need to fix it, change it, criticize it, blame it, or do anything with it. Just to let it be here as it is. The choice of being here, now. Continuing to follow the breath. Follow the breath in, follow the breath out. And as you focus on the breath, noticing whatever else arises, whatever arises into your awareness, maybe a body sensation, or a feeling, or a thought, whatever it is, whatever you're noticing arising, just choosing how to be with that. Following it, allowing it, focusing on it, hiding it, pushing it away, hanging on to it. All choices in being. No right, no wrong, just choices. And over the next few breaths, letting the awareness just be with whatever arises and noticing how you be with it. Without judgment, but just noticing. And as you continue this practice, you may begin to notice a way of being with yourself that seems to come into play. And accepting that, just noticing and saying, yeah, that's how I'm choosing to be right now with whatever comes into my awareness. And then allowing, if there's another choice that perhaps arises, allowing that, trying it on, perhaps choosing another way to be with what arises now. Coming back to the breath again, noticing any shift or change in the flow of the breath. And just being with it as it is. Noticing any places where the breath is flowing. Noticing places where the breath hesitates a little. Notice choices being with the flow. Notice choices being with hesitation. Notice choices in being with the experience that is pleasant, along with choices in being with the experience that may be less pleasant or unpleasant. And it's through noticing these choices that they can be changed by simply noticing and not condemning, holding gently the choices that I make right now in this moment. And then choosing the next moment, how to be with that. Not pushing anything away, not chasing anything, simply allowing the next moment to arise and the choice to be with it. Coming back again to the next breath, allowing, connecting with the breath, just as it is. And then open mindfulness of whatever is arising. Sensations, feelings, images. And softening around the choices in being with them. Perhaps the choice for acceptance. And let your next breath on the exhale, let your hand come up to the center of your chest. Both hands if you prefer. As you feel connection to your body through your hand, connect also to the being that dwells within this body. This wonderful human being, and like all things in being and in nature, perfect in its imperfection. And acknowledging that reality, perfection in imperfection. Just notice the impact of allowing that. At the same time, honoring the part of you that got you here to sit and meditate today. That quest, that desire to create something in your life that will serve and support you and those around you. Honoring that and softening around the journey. Finally, just ask your body, ask your being, what do I take from this meditation today? What's the gift? What have I brought to my awareness that may serve me in my life going forward from here? And just take a moment to hold that gently as well. I honor you as a human being, perfect in your imperfection. May you find peace. May you be free of suffering. May you take care of yourself happily. May all beings find peace. May all beings be free of suffering. May all beings take care of themselves happily. I thank you for allowing me to serve you with this meditation today. Thank you. And I'll stay on for a few moments. I'll talk a little bit about another concept that came up in the meditation that you may like to take with you. Before we came on today, I was having a chat with someone with Pat about Japan. And there's a concept in Japan called wabi-sabi. I don't know if you've heard of it. But wabi-sabi is a beautiful concept because it's about perfection in imperfection. And the potter will make the clay pot with a slight imperfection. And that slight imperfection that's built into the art form in many places in Japan is there to remind us of our humanness, to remind us that we are indeed imperfect, but that's perfectly okay. And so I leave you with that as a concept. It's a great one to hold, I believe, in meditation, because in meditation, you're going to notice thoughts come up. You'll notice those little gremlins that'll pop out of your mind and say, you're not doing it right, or you should be doing it different. And it's great when you can just notice that and say, yeah, and I'm perfect in my imperfection. Any questions, please type your questions into the chat or your comments, or if you'd like to type your takeaway from today, and that would be great too. I'd love to hear it. I'll stay on for a few minutes, probably another 5 minutes or so, and answer questions and learn from you what you might have received today. Okay. So, question here from Bobby. When you said we have choices, but also being with exactly how we feel, should we change them? That's a choice, I guess. I'll be a little funny with this one. First of all is acceptance and then choice. So what we're prone to do, it's a great question, actually. I'm really pleased you asked it. What we're prone to do is immediately rush into clinging or pushing away. We notice something. Do I want it or do I want to get rid of it? Right? So my suggestion is don't rush to either of those choices. Rather sit with what is, hold it for a while. Like if you were picking something up and not sure whether you were going to keep it or let it go, or picking something up, a piece of maybe a piece of fruit. Will I eat it or will I not eat it? Yeah. So before you even make that just decision, just hold it and be with it for a while, right? So I'm noticing a little anxiety come up. Okay, let me just hold that anxiety for a moment or two before I try to get rid of it, or before I try to, run away with it somewhere. Just hold it gently and let it teach me. Let it share what it's got with me, and then I can choose. Then I can choose how to be with it. Maybe I'll continue to hold it gently. Maybe I'll say, okay, I don't need you right now. I'm going to take a deep breath. Wise choice is one that creates more happiness, less suffering. That's a wise choice. And we learn that over time. We begin to learn what are the choices that we make in the way we show up in life on a daily basis that bring a greater sense of happiness and peace to ourselves and to others. And those choices will create the environment that we live in. So yeah, wise choice is one that doesn't create harm or suffering to self or others.
There was one, is it common to feel dizziness while meditating?
Yeah, it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. It may be that you're restricting or constricting your breath a little bit. You might want to just open your eyes and look downwards rather than keeping your eyes closed. That can be a little lightheadedness can come from that. And you may want to just vary your breath. Just try letting go of the breath without trying to force it in any way. And maybe relax your posture a little as well. That may help. Yeah.
Any specific instructions for adolescents?
Good question. I generally find that adolescents have a shorter span of openness to meditation. But I was talking with someone today who has been practicing meditation for about 15 years. And I said, when did you start? And she said, when she was 14. And she read about it from books, saw a few things on TV, and decided to start her own practice and did it. So, you know, I think find the meditation technique that works for you. And I'd say that particularly with adolescents, you know, try a couple of different ones, see if they work. I've been very surprised to find that a lot of children and adolescents actually can meditate much more effectively than I would have thought so in the beginning. Simple breath meditation is always the best. It's a great way to start. Just simply breathe and be aware of your breathing. I'm aware of breathing in, I'm aware of breathing out. You can count breaths. That's a great way for adolescents too. I breathe in, I breathe out, 1. I breathe in, I breathe out, 2, and so on, till you get to 10, and then start again. My takeaway, I always have choice. I do make choices. I have always struggled with the pressure of choice. So there you go. You can choose whether to be pressured or not. That's an option. And meditation's a great way to practice that. Notice the pressure when it comes up. Notice whatever that pressure is and just hold it gently. Hold it gently for a while and then choose to perhaps let it go. Just let it be there or let it go. Don't have to push it away. Don't have to struggle with it or fight it, but just notice that there is this pressure to choose. And I'm just going to be with that without doing anything about it. Just be with it. Just being with whatever is a great choice. One of the best. Okay, I think that's slowing down before acting. Yeah, great. And you've got a link there to previous sessions if you want them. Someone said make meditation fun for adolescents. I agree with that. That's a great idea. Have pain when deep breathing. Should I breathe in a way that doesn't create the pain? Just find a way. There's no right way to breathe with meditation as long as you're following your breath. And so just allow the breath more than try to breathe in any particular way. Allowing. It doesn't matter if it's soft and shallow to start with. That's fine. Okay, thanks everyone. I really appreciate the questions and your time, and be well. See you next week. Look forward to it. Thank you.